Hello and welcome back to the CFCTALK podcast, the final one for the season, episode number 70. Amart's stuck, as always. It's been a continuous thing by Amart this season, but we'll wait for him to come back. In the meantime, Alex is back for tonight after celebrating what was one of the greatest nights in Chelsea history, and especially the greatest night in Chelsea recent history in the last 5 years, I'd say, or even the 7 years. Welcome back. Great to have you guys on. Just a bit of a gist for all those watching. We'll be doing our season predictions, and I may tell you we're going to have a fun time today with someone putting Arsenal in the top four, someone saying Werner's going to be the highest goal scorer with 20 plus goals. Chelsea not winning the Champions League. I said Chelsea's going to win the EPL, so yeah, it's going to be a fun time. But yeah, first of all, Champions League still feels surreal. Alex, I know you haven't been on the podcast, so I'll go to you first. And
of course, yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, if you compare, I don't know, it especially feels weird when that's 2012, which seemed like the stars aligned in order for us to win it. And it was a do or die, really. If we didn't win it then that group of players weren't ever going to win it. Compared to this squad that have deservedly played 4 different knockout games over 2 legs and been pretty much dominated every single one of them, bar a fluky Porto goal. And I think my favourite stat of the whole thing is that we conceded twice as many goals against West Brom as we did in every single opponent in the Champions League combined.
Yeah, I've seen that stat, and I think the other incredible stat is Chelsea's only been a goal behind for 5 minutes this whole campaign in the Champions League, compared to where West Brom, without getting into detail, it was 90 minutes of hell.
Yeah, but the only two, I think it was just the Porto one where they scored in like the last kick of the game, and then Krasnodar, where they went ahead in the game, which didn't really mean much. So yeah, it's just surreal. It really is to see these group players, particularly. It's the start of something great for the young guys, but it's also vindication, and it really cements certain players' statuses at this club, such as Aspi. Aspi is now a Chelsea legend. I think most people will agree now, because he's won everything at Chelsea. He's been there through thick and thin, played in multiple positions, won trophies in multiple positions. So
4 positions actually.
Yeah, it's crazy to think. And he was absolutely brilliant last night. 2 nights ago, and so was everyone in that team, every single player. I mean, yes, Werner missed a couple of chances, but still, we wouldn't have scored.
It's the standard.
Without him. Yeah, standard Werner, but standard good Werner. Just didn't score, because without his run, we don't score that goal.
Yeah.
Because Diaz is back covering Havertz. So yeah, fantastic from him. And the back 5 put in GOAT performances. I don't even exaggerate that. The back 5 were. I don't think I've ever seen a better defensive performance from a Chelsea team. I mean, yes, I've not been alive long enough to really been able to properly analyse games from 2004, 2005, that legendary team defensively. But I've not seen a better defensive Chelsea performance than last night, honestly.
Amart, how are you recovering? Because you've just woken up from a nap. Is that still recovery from that Saturday night, or are you? I think we were on the stream the other night with Kamal and Maria on a special, I guess, podcast on the night. But yeah, still surreal, still unbelievable. Still, you wake up and you look at your phone and you see a notification from Chelsea when they've posted a picture of a player holding the Champions League, and you just go, "Oh yeah, we just did that a few days back."
Yeah, it always feels like it's a dream. I think even the day before when I woke up, I had to go and check and make sure that it wasn't a dream. It wasn't something that, because it just felt like the first one. It's sometimes it's weird to win it, especially when people think that you can. Especially the first one. The first one, nobody gave us a chance at all. At least this one, they gave us a chance because we had beaten City twice already, so we had a little chance. But with 2012, we didn't get a chance at all. So winning it was even more surprising. And then we won it again this time. We have 2. Like Chelsea has 2. the time I started supporting Chelsea, we didn't have one at all. We had nothing. We're always getting the short end of the stick in the Champions League. We're always. I remember Liverpool's ghost goal that wasn't supposed to go in, and they kicked it out. And then I remember Barcelona, that corrupt referee, just worrying us with his bad officiating. Like we've gone through it, and Man United losing to Man United, Terry slip and all that. We've gone through a lot. And when we won 2012, it just kind of like just made everything everybody happy. Like all those jinxes and stuff like that just went out the window, and then we've won it again for a second time. The first London team to win the Champions League trophy, and then the first London team to win it twice. Arsenal and Spurs. Yesterday, I was even thinking about the fact that I can't believe Arsenal and Spurs went close to winning that trophy, because I don't know what I would have done if Arsenal won this trophy before us. I don't know what I would have done if Spurs also won it against playing against Liverpool. So
I mean, we would have had one by that time.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Spurs would have had a Champions League trophy. That's the thing. Spurs would have had a Champions League trophy. Like
the value of the competition drops.
we have Liverpool to thank for that. It was never in doubt.
Yeah.
It was never in doubt. Spurs got there, and then in the first minute threw away. So never in doubt.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like it's definitely a fantastic win. Definitely a fantastic trophy, fantastic win. And then the stats on Twitter remind me every time, so I now believe it.
Those kits, I think I have to give a shout out to the designer who's worked on the black and gold kit, which has got the 2 stars on top. I don't exactly remember the name, but wow, what a kit! If Chelsea released that, and whatever price you name, I think everyone's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Even if they don't wear it, it's just a collectible edition. We'll all buy it because of how good it looks. But to me, it's still surreal. I think I was working on editing my own reaction because I wasn't on the live stream, so I was doing my own thing, which I'll try and hopefully upload by tomorrow morning. And I was looking back, and I think luckily I had my Apple Watch on, and it was on, and my heart rate, I think the highest it went was 195 for a second, and I don't know whether what exact time it was on, but yeah. I'm guessing that was the Mahrez, the crossbar close one. That was the one where you time just paused for a second.
That was very close. I think it just kissed the upside of the crossbar, and man, that would have. Yeah, I think every chance.
And the worst part was it came after a Pulisic miss. Yeah. So it was like if they score and they somehow manage to get to penalties, win or whatever happens. It'll be,
and it was Havertz.
All the blame would be on him.
And it was Havertz who cleared that ball directly to Mahrez's foot, so it would have just erased everything. That's the thing. So yeah, like that. It was close. It was very, very close. Like my heart really skipped a beat when that happened, because I didn't see what happened. I think what even made it even more scary is Mendy's reaction. Like Mendy didn't see it at all. Like those kind of goalkeeper moments where you know that this thing, even if you dive, you're not going to get to it. So he was just frozen in time like that, and it just rippled the top of the net. But we still got the win, man. It's luck like that we need. We need most of the times. Luck like that. We need luck like that all the time.
I think not just that. I think there were a few other tweets that I saw that if Ederson would have tackled Kai Havertz, that would have been a red card. I think it was even a handball, I think, because he was outside the box, but Havertz still continued, and all that sort of stuff. And then at the end, I just saw someone comment below, just enjoy the win, man. And it was a Man City supporter, and he just said, just enjoy the win, man. Just move on. And you could tell the pain because Chelsea isn't the team that gets lucky. Chelsea is the team which gets unlucky. So, yeah, on the night we were, I think, incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better performance. I think, honestly, performance of the season for you guys?
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Yeah.
Nothing gets close to it. Yeah. It was that good that nothing gets close to it. The whole back five where I put in, as I said before, they put in the best performances of their entire careers. Multiple players in the back five put in best performances of their entire careers. N'Golo Kante, which we haven't even mentioned yet, put in the best performance of his career. I can say pretty confidently.
He just does it so gracefully. He just comes in, he does his job, leaves. And then I was editing wallpapers today, and I was thinking about the 4 players who stood out for me, and then who would be on the wallpapers. And I kind of thought of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. I think it was Aspie was one of them because of the captaincy, and then I wanted Kante, but for some reason the guy didn't have a photo with the Champions League trophy. He hasn't got one. It's usually him next to a player holding it. And I was just like, look at how humble he is. There wasn't a single picture of him holding it on his own. It's similar
to the World Cup.
There's one on
the World Cup. I think
it was a cropped one. It was a cropped one. It wasn't a full kind of picture where I could have done a wallpaper on it. But yeah, I'm not as talented as the others on Instagram and Twitter. Just trying to find my way through right now. So yeah, but yeah, N'Golo Kante. Yeah, speechless.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
If France get anywhere in the Euros, Ballon d'Or for N'Golo Kante. I think it has to be said.
Agreed.
He's been
Agreed.
Like before January, it was a difficult time for the whole squad, to be honest, and he was in and out of the team with injuries. But since January, he's been absolutely sublime. He got, I don't know if it's actually confirmed if he got man of the match in the game we lost against Porto. Yeah, but people say it was 4, but I really don't know. Some people say yes, some people say that against Porto.
I think the confirmed words.
Yes,
yeah, it was 4 man of the matches.
People say 4, but it was the game where we lost.
I think UEFA themselves said 4, or they didn't say 4.
Yeah.
I think their Twitter account posted. I think he won one in the Atletico game, whether it was the home game or the away game. I'm not sure.
But yeah,
we played in one stadium, so and then both the Real Madrid legs, he won man of the match for both, and then this one.
But Porto, yes, but Porto was in between Atletico and Real Madrid. And in the second game where we lost against Porto, which was the game before the 2 Real Madrid games, I don't know if he did. Because Chelsea on their account said 3. So it was a bit like, But it doesn't take away from the fact. It doesn't take away from the fact he's been amazing in all these Champions League games, and he saved the best to last, which didn't even know that was possible, to be honest, because he's been amazing throughout the whole campaign. But yeah, absolutely ridiculous, doing everything everywhere, amazing in attack, amazing. There was a fantastic slide tackle that he made on De Bruyne in the first half.
Yeah.
Could not have timed it any better. But there were so many of those from the entire back five. There were
Rudiger on the line.
Interceptions.
Yeah.
So Kante made 10 interceptions on the night. 10 interceptions.
Yeah, unbelievable, right? I think you can pretty much remember a brilliant block or slide tackle, like a goat slide tackle or block from every single one of
from
the back
everybody.
Five. Every single one prevented a clear goal. Everyone prevented a clear goal for Man City. And Rudiger's one was brilliant. I think it was Foden, where Foden shot and Rudiger managed to get to it last second. There were square balls that Man City put in the second half, where I think Aspie stopped a clear goal from. Yeah. Chilwell on the same in the first half also had a clear goal. Christensen, I'm not sure if he did it, to be honest, actually. But then and Reece James, I think, did as well. The
whole game he was handling Sterling as if he wasn't even on the pitch.
Yeah, honestly, Sterling did nothing in that game other than the first half where he got one chance where he got past James, but then James recovered brilliantly, and so.
I think what I'll kind of to add a bit of emotions to this instead of stats is it says that all of these players wanted it more than City, and on the day you could we talked about this so many times throughout the whole season on previews and reviews, where sometimes this team lacks the mentality, sometimes this team lacks the fight, And honestly, on the Champions League final night, when teams do tend to crumble under the pressure, under the limelight of the Champions League final, Chelsea for some reason decided, you know what, we'll step out and give our best performance, and that's what's incredible to see. I mean, we throughout the season, Thomas Tuchel hasn't been regarded as one of the best as a team manager who's been scoring goals left, right, and center. We've scraped away 1-0 wins, 2-0 wins, and they've been incredible performances because of our defense. I think if we look at the goals conceded under Tuchel, it's I think it was right above 1, so it was like 1.1, 1.2 compared to the goals, which were I think 1.7. Or it was even less. I think I can't exactly remember, but it was quite less and compared to Lampard. But yeah, we've been so well. We've defended so well throughout the season, not just that night. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add on before we move on to our funny predictions? If I'm still looking at this and I'm saying, what were you thinking? What were we?
Yeah, not much else I can add really, other than like everyone put in a great performance. Kai Havertz particularly was absolutely majestic today. Sorry, I keep saying today. It feels like today. It feels like it was a dream.
It does.
It feels like it was a dream that I woke up from this morning, but no. And yeah, Kai Havertz was absolutely majestic as well. And yeah, that really giving it a middle finger to all the doubters, and especially the countless number of rival fans. Yeah, the interview made me love him even more. He's my favorite Chelsea player, and it's like, yeah, the countless rival fans just taking the piss out of his number of goals and assists earlier in the season. I mean, no matter how bad he does or amazing he does or whatever criticism he gets, you just need to show him this game, and this game showed everything that Kai Havertz is brilliant at, and that's why the £70 million was completely justified. And it was quite funny how rival fans completely ignored that this guy that we've spent 70 million on. Yes, he hasn't been scoring goals and assists left, right, and centre, but it's justified. He's done.
He scored the one that matters the most.
He scored, but even before tonight, it was like he's still a bloody brilliant footballer for 21 years old. So, yeah, all it did was convince the rival fans that he's the big deal.
He doesn't
even
need
first
to
Champions League goal as well. He doesn't need to, but I think it shut him up, which is quite happy.
Yeah, he did. He really did. He really shut him up. Like, he doesn't need to. I feel like you're absolutely correct. Like, even though those attackers haven't been the best, Ziyech, the new ones, Ziyech, Havertz, and Werner haven't been the best. He has been like the best out of them, in my opinion. Like, he's the one that like gives us good performances on a regular. Even sometimes he might be off a bit, but like even under Lampard, he was good. It wasn't for the COVID issue that happened. Yeah. Like, he would still be on like an uphill rise. So like the guy was like, and he's a fantastic finisher. Like, I always say this guy is such a fantastic finisher. Like, anytime he gets there, his confidence, like the audacity to try certain things, we don't get that from other players around him. That's the thing. Like Werner, what Werner did in the final. There were some chances where I was like, Werner, you could have passed it to this person, or you could have played in this manner, or you could have taken your time or been more composed. But like, if it was Havertz, like, we would get that from him. Even the chance that he had before the goal, the one that he decided to dribble Diaz, and Zinchenko just took it off his leg. That was like, you could see what he wanted to do. You could see what he was trying to do, and that was fantastic. And going back to what Mohammad also said, like, yes, this win, definitely they wanted it more than everybody, because considering all the things that happened during this season, the win would just gloss over everything. Like, nobody will care about Werner's misses. Nobody will care about Havertz not performing, Ziyech not performing, all those things that happened during the season. Nobody cares about the Super League now. Nobody gives a sorry, I was about to curse, but nobody cares about it. I was about to curse like Havertz, but nobody cares about those things anymore. We've won the Champions League. It has just cemented over everything else.
Except Perez. Perez is still adamant on continuing the Super League, so we'll see how far that goes.
Yeah. I think this is also sorry.
And
Go
I'm
on.
saying him and Barcelona and Juventus. I think they're still in it. They still want the 3.5 billion dollars. They want to play on their own.
Let
Yeah,
them make their own Chelsea. Let them make their own Arsenal top
yeah,
six.
yeah. I think the amazing thing about this as well is it's kind of put Player FC to bed as well. I think everyone just loves everyone now, and yeah, they're all legends to some extent now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's
I've
unbelievable.
given Jorginho. I've given Jorginho a clean slate. I've given him a clean slate.
Hey, yes.
I have. I've given him a clean
No,
slate.
no more Jorginho slander on CFC Talk.
Yeah.
No. I've given him like his performance. His performance together with Kante was just fantastic. Like he didn't do anything extraordinary, but like he did the basic things. He did the simplest things, and he did like his tackles were all on point. Like I remember he made a tackle that the commentator was like, Jorginho just made a Jorginho tackle. Like he made the necessary tackles, the important tackles, and yeah, I was very very happy with the way they all performed. Like to be honest, I've never really I don't hate Jorginho, but he's such a frustrating player to watch sometimes. Like sometimes the way he puts in mistakes and stuff like that. But him crying at the end even just gave me the clean slate. Like he also wanted it. He also wanted to fight for Chelsea. Then that's all I want to see. I want to see somebody who is there for Chelsea, not somebody who is there for the paycheck. I want somebody who is there for Chelsea, who is there to play for the club and for the badge. And he proved it on the night. Everybody proved it on the night. Like everybody, like, we were accusing all of them. We're all saying that they are weak. They have weak mentalities and stuff like that. But I think all those things got to them, and then they really delivered on the night. That's the only trophy we have this season, and that's the only one that matters.
I think the best moment
So clean
is
slate.
when the referee blows the final whistles and you just see both team players drop to the floor, one with tears of joy, one with tears of sadness. It's just such a magical moment about sports, and as
Yeah,
you
man.
mentioned, the Super League. This is something you don't get to see. You know, Villarreal, a club that comes from a city which is the 181st largest city in Spain, so about a population of about 50,000, and they've won the Europa League. They're against a team like Man United who's got such a rich history, and that's what football's about. And I think that's what um, they were trying to stop with the Super League. So I'm proud to say Chelsea were one of the first ones to leave it, but they shouldn't have been there
Yeah.
in the first place. At the same time, um, yeah, predictions. Yay! Let's start with the top four.
Yes.
I was awfully wrong with Chelsea winning. We barely scraped top four. And I'll say NEPL is I'll swap it with the Champions League title. I mean, I forgot Chelsea were the team that's going to defeat teams like Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid in a Champions League semi-final, Man City in a Champions League final to win the Champions League and lose to West Brom, concede 8 goals in 2 games, and lose points against teams which we shouldn't have. So yeah, Man City, you guys were correct. So congratulations on that.
Hey, yeah, could see it from early on. I think they looked really strong, and I think, yeah, we expected our signings to do better than they did, but I didn't think it was going to be enough to really dislodge them, and it was true. But I honestly thought City would be more dominant than they were. I was not expecting their number of their final points tally to be so low compared to last year, but it happened. I think let's get a bit lower down where things start to get a little more entertaining.
I mean, I will say, I think Alex and I both got the top 4 right. Whether it was in the right order or not, that's debatable. But we got the top 4 right. But Amart, Arsenal?
Yeah, like
Arsenal.
I gave them fourth.
We'll let you explain yourself.
They have a tendency for finishing fourth all the time, and I'll go back to my explanation or my defense. They had good signings, like they had a good sign, and they just beat us in the FA Cup, so they were riding high, and I thought Ateta would do something. I really had potential in the guy. I thought he would do something good this season. I'm pretty sure a lot of people also had um confidence in him to do something that, but nothing happened. Like they just collapsed. They had bad performances, poor performances. William just scored 1 goal for them the whole season. That's just crazy. I think 2 assists or 3 assists and 1 goal the whole season. And yeah. So I just put them forth because I didn't think Man United will make it. I didn't think Man United would make it into the top 4, but yeah, they did it. And they proved me wrong. I remember when we put these predictions out, a Man United friend of mine contacted me and was like, Ernest, you didn't put us in top 4. And I was like, yeah, because you guys have like I don't see anything. It's my prediction. I don't see anything that convinces me that you make top 4, but they did, and they finished above us. So
that's what I was going to point out. I was going to say Amart didn't have Man United there. I had Man United as 4th, and Alex had Man United as 3rd. But they were surprisingly very close to City.
I had them fit. I had them fit.
But
like that day I thought.
Sorry, but I don't think I've got the 5th one because I'm using.
No, I mean on the day I put them at 5th, because when we're talking about it, I remember you asked me. You guys said, why didn't I put? I think somebody made a comment about me not putting them in 4th, but I put them 5th. Unfortunately.
I'm going to take this moment to defend Amart's prediction. In that, if you consider end of season or post Christmas form, Amart's top 4 is probably the most accurate in terms of the teams finishing the most strongly to this season. Man City won the Premier League, Chelsea won the Champions League, but Liverpool. I don't know if you guys have noticed it much, but Arsenal's post Christmas form is actually worryingly good. And they have like, I think that it's like second. If the tape is quite fun, it's cliche. It's a silly thing to make, but their post Christmas form is like I think would put them in 2nd or 3rd in the table. So for next year,
I think it's 1st. That's why AFTV keeps sharing it. Have you noticed every now and then they just. I think it is 1st because I've seen AFTV share it, unless it's dropped down the last few weeks because of their losses.
They've won all their last 5 remaining games. So small post Christmas form. So
while Alex searches that, I agree with you. I think Arsenal will be. That's the thing about next season. I see myself, I see 4 teams in the picture next year, and I see Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United still competing for the Premier League. Maybe Arsenal, depending on how their season starts, what changes they make during the summer. Tottenham, I feel like they still need another year to kind of recover, and they might win the Conference League. But again, they're the butlers, so let's wait. We're gonna have to wait and see. I'm not trying to make any predictions, but I'm just kind of thinking about what based off this season. But yeah, like Amart's prediction was pretty close, except the Arsenal. Alex got it almost spot on, and I need a lesson on football again, I guess, or I need to be less biased.
Next year, though, I think in terms of you never know. Chelsea might be get a bit further up there. We'll see after our probably quite intense transfer window. Now that we've won the Champions League, we become a lot more desirable. I wouldn't be surprised if Eden Hazard goes and tweets out, "I'm signing for the Champions League winner again." But
I think he's ruled it out though, in a press conference.
I saw that, and then my heart broke. So that's sad. But yeah,
well, he said he wouldn't come. He said,
well, not that, but it looks like in the press conference he was trying to like not talk about Chelsea when they asked him about Chelsea. They asked him about, "Oh, are you happy that Chelsea won the Champions League?" And he was like, he was basically just said, "No, I'm focusing on Real Madrid." So
he said, "No, I'm not happy because I'm a Real Madrid player, but I'm happy for my Chelsea friends."
Yeah, I think that's a very safe way to put it, because he had a lot of problems with because he was chatting and smiling and laughing with Zuma and stuff like that. So.
Throw back to them zooming into someone doing this.
Yeah. I think next year though, I think if we're gonna, I think Amart's top 4 is actually probably be closest to what I'll probably predict for next year. I do predict Arsenal to be much higher up. To be honest,
But who's going to fall off? Do we think Liverpool's going to fall off again?
I think Man United. I think Man United will fall off unless they get Jadon Sancho. I think Man United will fall off.
Yeah.
But that's the time for a video in 2 months' time after we've seen a couple of transfers. But yeah,
Yep.
I do think Man United have finished this season really not great, whereas we didn't either, to be fair. But then we pulled out the Champions League. But yeah, same with Liverpool. Yeah,
moving on to the bottom three. Let's talk about the embarrassing one. Amart and I predicting West Ham on getting relegated, while they made European nights for the first time, I think, in their history. Amart.
In fairness, I think I put West Ham as well, just above relegation. But I wasn't going to put them in there, but I put them just above, I think, because I know what you guys were thinking too. They didn't have a strike.
I'm just looking at the actual sheet from 9 months ago, and you had West Ham, and then you told me to cross it out and change it with West Brom.
Oh right.
So
that was very convenient. I definitely thought that through. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Amart. So, are you surprised?
I am definitely surprised, especially regarding Leeds and West Ham. Very, very surprised. Very, very surprised because Leeds played fantastic. I thought Leeds would be like Norwich. I think that was my explanation. I thought they would be like Norwich, and they'll start very good, but they'll eventually crumble and go out of the league. And with this, it was like, in my defense, it's our first time, so we'll be better prepared next time. This time it was our first time. We're just
now.
Yeah, we'll have better analysis and everything next time. But this one,
the book is ready. The book is ready.
In fairness, you guys
just a miss.
Yeah, you guys didn't predict West Brom to be in the relegation zone, so you evidently realised that West Brom are an amazing football institution, and that is why Chelsea lost. So you guys were really ahead of the curve on that one.
At the same time, all three of us predicted Aston Villa in the bottom three.
Yeah.
If that conveniently helps our case.
I think we just didn't. Yeah, there were just a couple of teams that completely turned it around. We didn't expect.
And I think West Ham, and Aston Villa, didn't they almost escape relegation the season before? So
yeah.
I think that's what we were basing it off of.
Yeah,
because there wasn't any preseason, so we didn't really see any of the teams in action. And then Jack Grealish should have decided to go off. West Ham signed Jesse Lingard, and at the end, their kind of form at the end came back up. Declan Rice was incredible as well. And I think, as Amart said, we're going to be better prepared this season because honestly, I'm looking at the bottom three, and I think the top four sounds pretty much right, except for Arsenal. But the bottom three, it's the issue that we've got right now. I think. All three of the clubs that Mark predicted survived. All three of the clubs I predicted survived. I think West Ham. No, I can't exactly remember. Just give me a second. West Ham. No, sorry. Fulham did go down, and then Amart. Fulham was the only correct one for Alex and I, and Amart was way off with all three teams.
Yeah, way off. Total miss.
Yeah. But a total miss. Trophies. Oh.
Oh man, I can't believe both you guys predicted us to win. Actually, no, FA Cup. No. Yeah, we almost did it. The FA Cup. So you almost got that one right.
Yeah.
Blame VAR
Carabao
for that.
Cup though. Carabao Cup though.
Yeah, who did we get knocked out? This season is such a blur.
Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs.
They beat us in the penalty shootout. I think Mount missed the last penalty.
So that's Mason Mount's fault.
We've just had Ameya on, and you're gonna do that.
It's only a little prediction thing. I'm sure he has better things on his mind. But we didn't predict any of the right trophy. Well, no.
Yeah.
To some extent, we predicted right the trophies that we wouldn't win. To some extent. None of us predicted we win the Champions League, though.
Not even in our wildest dreams.
No. I don't think anybody could have.
I remember when I kind of posed the question, I said, "Do we think we're going to win the Champions League?" And both of you at the same time said no, and I was like, "Yeah, it's not happening. No chance." And yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind us getting that one wrong. That's one prediction I'm happy with.
I think I saw someone on Twitter put a bet. I think it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous. They put £266. £260 on Chelsea winning the Champions League.
I think the returns were like 3,000 and something.
3,000.
Yeah. To be fair, I would expect better, to be honest. If I was wagering £260, I want it to be on something the way I'd be getting millions back, because that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, good on you, sir, if you are watching this video, for winning £3,000 off your very bloody ballsy bet. So, yes. Well done on that one. But, yeah, other than that,
I'm kind of excited, not to get to it, not getting ahead of myself, but I'm excited to predict what trophies we win next year, because this team looks like they could win it all, or they could lose it all. It's one of those, I'm not trying to shame the players or anything after this incredible kind of Champions League campaign, but realistically, it's a Chelsea team which lost to West Brom twice while winning a two-legged semi-final against Real Madrid, who were in a title race.
Yeah,
and not just scraping a victory, but comfortably winning both games, or at least the second leg, and then the first one we were pretty much the better team.
I'd want to make my prediction for next year after seeing if we signed a prolific striker, because
we're not saying who it is.
I'm not saying who it is, but no, I am going to say it is Romelu frickin' Lukaku.
I'd rather have Harry Kane. This is one debate I am ready to fight anyone for.
Fine, but he won't come. He just won't come. Would you sell Mason Mount if Mason Mount was running out of a contract? You Roman Abramovich wouldn't let Mason Mount go to Tottenham in a million. Yeah,
if I'm Harry Kane, I would. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he has a say. He can't just not have a say.
But with Harry Kane, he's more likely to go to City than to come to Chelsea, because like he can't jeopardize that history he has with the Spurs fans. He can't. Like he's their captain. He's their captain.
If he really wants to show respect to Spurs, play outside the Premier League. Why do you want to play against? He will be playing against Spurs twice at least a season.
Because he wants to stay in the Premier League, I think. That's the most important thing. He wants to win the Premier League.
And why not come to the club which is going to be successful, hopefully?
There's a history. There's a history there. There's a history. He's currently, like, sorry to cut you off, Alex, but he's currently a legend at Spurs. He's currently a legend. Isn't he their top scorer at Spurs? Or he's not?
Ever? I don't think ever yet. Maybe in the Premier League, Actually, in the Premier League, I think yes. Premier League.
Yeah. So, like, his status there is very, very high. So, like, I wouldn't jeopardize it if I was him.
I get that, but then again, there's players who've come from, I guess, Arsenal to Chelsea. Ashley Cole, Olivier Giroud. They might not be that.
It's different. It is different.
Olivier Giroud has won everything at Chelsea except the Premier League.
That's not the right argument, I don't think, to say.
He's won 2 European championships. Granted, one of them's the Europa League, the other one's the UCL. He's won an FA Cup.
That's not fun to regard Giroud as high as Spurs fans regard.
I'm not comparing the players and their stature at the club. But what I'm just saying is if Arsenal can give up their vendetta against Chelsea and sell to their rivals, I think if the right offer arrives for Harry Kane, that could happen.
The right offer for Harry Kane would have to be in the billions. The billions.
For them to sell.
It's themselves. Various in the nose on Twitter have said there's like a 1% chance of it happening. I don't know. Cast your mind back to 2011. We tried to buy Luka Modric from Tottenham. Daniel Levy did not accept. I think he rejected 35 million, 40 million, and 45 million offer bids from Chelsea. And then he let Modric go for 30 million, so 15 mil less than we offered for him, to go to Real Madrid. He will not allow Harry Kane to
He
go
won't.
to Chelsea for any figure that's below $1 billion.
I get that,
And they are better now financially. They are better now financially than how they were then. They are better now financially than when they were then. So
the buck stops with him and not Harry Kane. Harry Kane can just he would. I'm pretty sure he would rather allow Harry Kane just to sit aside on the bench and be unhappy than to let Chelsea do it.
I get that, but at the same time, there's also kind of an argument. Harry Kane leaves Tottenham. Who do they replace him with? Because if Chelsea buy out Lukaku, if Haaland stays at Dortmund because they've got Champions League qualification, they've qualified for the Champions League, they look like they're a strong team. Well, who do they replace him with?
That's we don't know, but it's
the next option is Tammy Abraham. So he puts it. You put him on the offer, and Tammy Abraham and
Tammy's not going to Spurs. Tammy's not going to Spurs.
I'm heading over right after this. I'm sending check to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and swapping that deal.
You see, it's more than just the business aspect of it when it comes to Spurs and Chelsea. It's more than that. Like,
I get that.
Yeah.
There's a whole rivalry beneath it, and
it's miles worse than Chelsea and Tottenham and Arsenal. Sorry, in terms of like the animosity between the two clubs and not liking each other and not willing to do business with each other. There's a reason why it barely ever happens to anyone. So
I completely agree with you, but I still have hope in Marina, and I feel like she's going to pull it off. If she could pull off all of what happened last summer, I feel like this is one deal that she might be able to pull off. But if she doesn't, I wouldn't mind Lukaku. At the same time, no disrespect to Lukaku.
But Mohammed, consider this. When was the last time a Spurs player came to Chelsea? When was the last time?
Never. Or not in 40, 50 years.
It doesn't
history
happen.
Makers. We're Chelsea FC history makers.
No. It doesn't happen. And I remember when, if you quite remember, when Gallas went to Spurs, it was just like he lost every form of legendary status, whatever it is that he was. Respect at Chelsea.
I get that.
Plus, he's going to cost Haaland money, despite the fact that he has injury problems. Yes, he is an absolutely world-class striker. He has injury problems with his ankle quite regularly. He's going to cost pretty much the same as Erling Haaland, and he's got about half the career left in him, less than half the career left in him. So if we're going to outlay that kind of money, then you might as well spend it on Erling Haaland. But I don't think Erling Haaland's going to happen either, because Dortmund have got Champions League football, so it's going to take billions as well, probably, to get them to sell. So either those two, I think, are done. And I mean, the word going around on the Twitter and in the nose and all that is all that Lukaku seems like it's the most likely one. And I don't think we get anyone better than him, realistically.
Yeah, I mean,
other than those two guys that we already talked about. I mean, there's no one better than Lukaku, I don't think. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. I think, honestly, for me, any of the three that we've mentioned are equally talented strikers. And looking at Chelsea's situation right now, they'll all be an improvement to Chelsea. And I would go as far as to say maybe even if Tammy gets an extension in his contract, we might be able to do something, because Werner might be back, in his second season with the preseason. Kai Havertz,
You think Tammy Abraham is going to sign an extension?
I feel like there might be a chance. There's a very slight chance, maybe higher. I think this is the chances right now. I think it's Lukaku, and then it's Haaland, and then it's Tammy, and then it's Harry Kane.
Tammy Abraham is finished at this club. Not finished at all. He's going to be a brilliant.
Yeah,
I think we all love Tammy, and I think he'll be great.
It's more like his time has ended.
His time at Chelsea, he has not been on the bench even for any of our past whatever number of games. There's no trust. The ship has gone, sailed.
I mean, you see, the thing is that there's a possibility that can be mended. Like whatever it is that went on between him and Tuchel. Like
and start him
You don't offer
That can be
contracts
mended.
and then hope that the form improves. You offer.
Because remember this. Remember, there was a similar rumor with Callum Hudson-Odoi being disrespectful or something, like, because he didn't want to sign a new contract and teams were coming around him. He was acting. He was with the upper, like, on the upper hand, and he was acting like he didn't want to sign. He wanted to leave and stuff like that. But he eventually stayed, and they were able to hash things out. So if the team really values Tammy Abraham, I think that's where the thing will fall on. If they really value Tammy Abraham and they don't want to see him go to a different club and want to stay, then, like, I think they can put him and Tuchel in one room and they can hash whatever it is that they, because missing, like, not putting him in the bench in the Champions League final, in the FA Cup final, it just, like it confirms what Alex said, that his time has ended. Like, as far as Tuchel is concerned, not as far as Chelsea is concerned, the club itself, but as far as Tuchel is concerned, he's not really playing. He's not going to play again. But things do happen with things like this. Like, if we've won the Champions League, probably the spirits are high. Things can change, but yeah, for me, I really, really wish he stayed and try to fight for his position. But I don't think Tammy would stay. I don't think he's the kind of person that would stay and be a third choice or a second choice striker. I don't think he's the kind of person. So for him to, his pride is also on the line. So
I will say, I feel like this summer is going to be quite an interesting summer, because I can already see some sparks in debates over here, and we're just starting off with the striker position, but there's a lot to cover. But going back to topic, top goal scorer, Timo Werner. Who would have thought it was going to be actually Timo Werner in all competitions, of course.
You got it right. You got the person right.
We were off by a couple of goals.
Just by the number. But we got the name right. That's as good as it gets.
I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing 20, 22, 26. If I even take an average, that's about 23. 23.5 goals between us three. Like, nowhere close. That remove 10 and then that's about the right number.
Just include disallowed goals for offside and we got it bang on. So
Amart's got it bang on exactly 27.
Yeah. So I'll take that as a win, I think. We did as good as we could. Man. We couldn't account for the incompetence of VAR and Timo Werner's desire to celebrate when he scores with his arm. But yeah, I love you, Timo.
I think this was whatever predictions we made off Werner was based off of, again, what we saw at the end of his season with Leipzig, and if we were to present these kind of numbers this next season, those might actually become true, because it's going to be after a preseason, after Euros, where he's going to be in a different camp, kind of gathering new skills, I guess, or hopefully finishing skills. I think if we look at this a year from now, we might say, 26, 22, 20 goals a season for Werner is absolutely nothing. That's what you want from your star striker.
Yeah, he's going to need to step up, and so is but hopefully having a world-class striker next to him who can attract some of that attention will also help, I guess. But then again, whoever comes in, I'd probably expect them to play alongside Kai Havertz and Mason Mount. So it's hard to see. It's really hard to predict how Timo Werner will do next year.
And surprisingly, top assists, all three of us got it wrong. It was Timo Werner himself. The way I look at it is Timo's had a good season, an average season. I think 27 contributions, and then he's won a few penalties as well in about 51 games. Not the best, and I guess that's because of him setting the bar so high at Leipzig, and when he's come to Chelsea, 27 or 30 contributions in 51 games just doesn't seem like what his potential is. Even though there are strikers who do. I think Romelu Lukaku had 41 he had 35 and 41. So not bad. Not bad from Werner.
I think for a first season, in a new league, in COVID, in a league that's very different defensively, very much better defensively, I think it's fair. You can't say he's been a flop. No way. You Can't say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but some people will try. Some people will try and say it.
I would go as far as to
Because
say none of our signings were a flop. You know,
Yeah.
we single out Hakim Ziyech for his performances, and then sometimes Kai Havertz, but I think none of them are flops. They just give him this season. You know, Kai Havertz specifically, as we mentioned before, COVID hit him, and it's not easy to recover from COVID. It takes a month or two for your lungs to kind of develop that kind of fitness as you had before. So for me, I think I'm ready to sit here next season and do a clean slate, as Amart said, for Jorginho. I would do it for all of the signings. And I would go as far as to say I hope Ziyech and Timo Werner and Kai Havertz perform incredibly well next season. I think they can.
yeah, they will. Like the things they will. Like I really have confidence that they will. Like the three of them are not going to flop. Like, or they are not going to underperform. Like people are saying that they did this season. Like because for ZH, look at his performances in the Champions League. Like he's helped us a lot. And even when he started, like his link up play with Tammy and the other boys was very very good until he had his injury and then he couldn't recover to the fullest. But everybody will be better next season. Like working under Tuchel, with the full preseason and like him really like putting a stamp on the team, right? Like this season has just been like I don't think Tuchel is actually playing what he wants to play like. Like what he's doing, what he did this season is like to get us out of the rut, is to give us a good season because we were in a bad place in the Premier League. I think we're good everywhere else, but we're in a bad place in the Premier League, and he had one job to take us out of that bad place, and he did it, and he overachieved. So I think next season we'll see the true Tuchel, we'll see the true Tuchel tactics and everything. So hopefully they've settled in now. When you see the celebrations and stuff like that, you can see that they've all now settled in fully, and they are gelling very very well off the pitch and on the pitch, so you can see it. So hopefully it just becomes better and better next season, and nobody gets injuries during the Euros. That's all I'm praying for. Nobody gets injuries during the Euros. Everybody comes back fit, and then we're done.
I'm interested to see if we actually do change to a back four, because I'm really not sure if we will. Just because,
I feel
yes,
like we might.
yes.
I feel like we might just because of the fact that we need to use our attacking players. But at the same time, if we're with the back three and we play like this, I'm more than happy to continue watching Chelsea. And I have no complaints in getting 1-0 victories every game, as long as they're, at this point, I'll say, even if they're quite boring victories, I'll take them because those are what matters. Flashy football doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
if we can play teams like Man City every week, then three at the back for me will be the best. Teams who are more focused in attacking than in defending. Like man, like I would who would open up their teams or open up their gameplay. We'll just rip them apart. But we are not going to get that. We are not going to get that. We are going to get much more difficult teams to face than the top teams in the country. So even the top teams played like the lower teams against us this season. So we really can't. But give us Man City every week, and we'll win every trophy.
that's definitely a quotable thing for any advertisements that we do on Twitter. But
clip this, frame this,
clip it,
repeat this.
But it's true. I mean, I can't think of any Champions League winner that changed the style that they went from to win the Champions League and then were successsul. Maybe that's just my bad memory. But yeah, I think
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, sorry. Bayern won, and then they kind of derailed off, or they weren't as good as they weren't as good as what they were. Same happened with Liverpool. Same going to probably happen to Chelsea. But I was going to add on and say about Amart saying gelling the players together. Usually teams do that by winning the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, small victories, and then there's Chelsea who just win the top prize in Europe, gel their players, and then now the next season it's like Tuchel's already saying, "Oh, I need three or four more signings to win another Champions League," as if it's Unai Emery for Europa, and then Tuchel for Champions League.
Because literally, we've won the Champions League without a world class performing number 9. So think what we could do with a number 9. Yes, the games will be more difficult, but that's why I think getting a world class striker is so important. It's so important that it should be the number 1 position. I think. I mean, yes, DM is also I think pretty important as well, but. Yeah, I think our main weakness is clinicality. To be honest, in the game 2 days ago, Timo Werner. I mean, in terms of the quality of chances that we were making compared to City's, we were making so many. We were making some really, really good chances that we didn't take. Pulisic's one in the second half. He's through with the keeper, puts it wide. Timo Werner in the first half, very, very start of the game, he tries to shoot with the left foot and he completely misses the ball and it hits his right foot and goes away. And then there's another one where also Timo Werner about 10 minutes after where he just can't get the ball out of his feet. He's just not very smooth on the ball. So just someone who basically a Diego Costa Mark II would do great. But someone who's clinical.
I've watched the finals so many times. Every goal you've mentioned, I've just kind of tracked the camera. I've just replayed the highlights here again as you've been talking about those. But I completely agree with you. I think we do need a striker. Unless Werner somehow says, I'll step up and score and be the Lukaku of this team or Harry Kane of Tottenham or. Hopefully Tammy Abraham of Chelsea the last 2 seasons, or even better. But other than that, I don't think we should be making any sort of predictions right now for the next season, especially knowing these were made just a week before kickoff. I think not even a week before kickoff, a few days before the Brighton game. I remember sitting down and doing these. I think that's all from us tonight. Any last words for the season, guys? Before I end it, basically.
Just a roller coaster, man. Honestly, when we sacked Lampard, I would not have told you. I would have thought you would have been crazy to even get to the semis of the Champions League. But here we are, with European champions, with a squad that was deemed to have an absolutely awful summer transfer window. Now makes us look like our summer window was amazing. So it's it's pretty crazy. It's crazy how the opinions of players can change through a matter of months. And kudos. I was about to say kudos, and I also said credit, and that kind of came out as one thing.
Kudos.
Kudos to number 1, Thomas Tuchel for changing the fortunes of this team around. Number 2, Frank Lampard for getting this team into the amazing situation that it finds itself in now from his actions this year and last year. Without him, we don't know. We don't have Mason Mount. We don't have Kai Havertz. Probably we don't have Reece James. We don't have so many players that we signed and brought in through the academy. So Frank Lampard deserves a lot of credit for the Champions League win. So those two guys amazing.
I was about to even say that he definitely deserves credit. I think I was watching the medals thing, and then I think when they were handing them the medals, and I think UEFA gives us 40 medals in total, and then when you calculate the staff and the players, it's like I think we have 39 in total. So there's one that will be left. I just hope they give it to Frank.
I'm sure he'll get one.
Yeah, because there will one be if they are assuming they are giving it to all the staff and all the players, there's one that will be left, and knowing that one they should give it to him because he definitely deserves it. We went through a perfect group stage, and And I always say this, I like anytime I'm talking to my friends about it, I always say that we were only suffering the Premier League. A lot of people forget about the FA Cup. A lot of people forget about the Champions League, and they try to discredit what he did for Chelsea. We were only suffering the Premier League, and the time that he was sacked, we were eighth or ninth and 5 points off the top four. So it wasn't really like it was a disastrous season or whatever it was. It was like we agreed here that the season was very, very unpredictable. One win and you are in the top four, one loss and you're out of it. Like, so it's he definitely deserves credit, and credit to Thomas Tuchel as well. Like, we were all sad when Frank left, but we weren't sad because Tuchel was coming in. We're mainly sad because Frank left. I don't think anybody in their right mind had any agenda against Tuchel, and we've backed him till now. And I just hope that everything everything works well for him going forward. And I just pray that the team backs him and gives him a long term, because I really can't take like other sacking or whatever it is at this club. Like,
I
back the
can
guy,
name one
whatever
person
happens.
who does have a degenerate Thomas Tuchel, and I think both of you will know who it is. But we can talk. Yeah, we'll not be
It's
name
probably
dropping this
after.
person. I
Yeah,
think
probably
you both
after.
know someone beginning with R and then in their first name and J in their second name. Let's leave it at that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I think I
It's
know who you're talking
yeah. He likes to change his opinions on the manager very often. Let's see, but yes, let's not end on that. Let's end on a
Oh,
positive.
okay.
Let's end on a positive. It's clicked. It's
It's
clicked.
clicked. It's
Guys,
clicked.
it's
It's
clicked.
clicked.
Yeah.
No, I went. So I'll tell you guys who I thought off recording, but I
Okay.
went the
Right.
total opposite route.
But yes,
um,
it's such a We need to end on a positive one though, and big thanks to all the
oh,
squad as well for making our dream
I
the dreams
think
transformed.
I honestly think like Lampard built the core, and Tuchel just kind of completed it. And credit goes to Lampard for what he did last season with top four. And even without Lampard's effort last season, we wouldn't be in the Champions League this season. So a lot of people just forget that in the first place. Forget even how we played in the group stage. Because there's always been debates that we were playing against we had two games against Krasnodar, that the other two were against Sevilla, which were okay. Yes, they were last year's. No, was it last year's European? They win the Europa League, but whatever it was, they were a strong team as well. So at the end of the day, both managers deserve equal credit. Maybe Tuchel more because when he came in, we were in a struggling position, and then we kind of improved from there. But yeah, both managers deserve credit for what they've to this team. But I think on a positive note, hopefully Tuchel continues this next season, and we get hopefully title contending season and another Champions League, a fight for another Champions League. Hopefully the stars continue to shine for Chelsea. That's all from us this season, I guess. 71 episodes in 10 months. I would say that's a pretty good stat for us, since we're living in 3 different countries, 3 different time zones, 3 different, I guess, kind of lifestyles, where we've kind of come together for 71 episodes and recorded. All of your support means a lot throughout the season, whether it be on the website, on social media, on YouTube, on any of our audio platforms. Honestly, it means a lot to us. We'll be continuing this next season, especially this summer when the Euros kick off, where we'll be doing covering the Chelsea players as well as the latest transfer news, hopefully. And hopefully try and get some big guests on. Fabrizio Romano, let's have you on. Let's have a here we go for Fabrizio Romano. But yeah,
Let's get to 10K subs first.
Yeah, hopefully we do. That's all from us this season. We'll see you in a few days, few days where we can kind of relax and regroup, and then come back together for the next season. So thank you for all of your support. And to the CFCTALK team, if you're listening, thank you for everything you do for us behind the scenes, as well as on the social media pages. Thank you, and we'll see you next season.